Good day, and welcome to Hiroshima University's English Podcast. Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming to our podcast. I'm Joe.
And I'm Kay.
Kay, do you know what one of the best things about studying English is?
What is it, Joe?
You can travel around the world for free, like no money.
Yes, everyone loves traveling for free.
Yeah, it feels like you're traveling for free. And today we're going to one of the most beautiful cities in the world. We're going to St. Petersburg in Russia.
Yes, St. Petersburg in Russia. 皆さんこんにちは。今日はロシアのサンクトペテルブルグについて説明したいと思います。
Right, remember, it's called St. Petersburg in English.
Yes, これはロシアにある都市なんですけど、Russia っていう英語の発音ちょっと難しいですよね。皆さんも頑張って特訓してください。
Right, Russia.
Yes, and Joe, is St. Petersburg really one of the most beautiful cities in the world?
Yes, they say it's one of the most beautiful cities in the world because there are some huge, beautiful buildings everywhere. These old, big, beautiful buildings, and they're surrounded by a lot of rivers and canals.
運河があるらしいです。
Right, there are a lot of rivers and canals in St. Petersburg, so you walk along these rivers and you see these beautiful buildings. And also the people in St. Petersburg are very international, I hear.
Oh, really?
There are a lot of tourists, and the people in St. Petersburg speak pretty good English, I heard. Right.
Okay, so can you tell us about a couple famous places in St. Petersburg?
Okay, one place is very, very famous. It's called the Hermitage Museum.
The Hermitage Museum.
Right, it's one of the biggest and most important art museums in the world. I hear there are 3 million pieces of art there. 3 million.
3 million. Wow.
Yeah, that's like 3 times the population of Hiroshima City.
Oh.
Right. And they're all in about 360 rooms.
What?
360 rooms, right. And there's some important paintings there. For example, Impressionist paintings.
印象派ですね。
Right, for example, Van Gogh's painting, you know, the guy with one ear.
ゴッホのことですね。
Right, Van Gogh. And also Paul Gauguin, he was kind of post-impressionist.
Okay.
And then there's some important Christian paintings featuring, for example, Mary, who was the mother of Jesus.
聖母マリアとかを扱ってるらしいです。
Yeah, these Christian paintings were done by people like Rembrandt, who was a Dutch person, right?
オランダ人のことですね。
Right, Rembrandt, very famous, and Raphael, who was Italian. Anyways, these Christian paintings kind of tell about an important part of history in Russia.
And what is another famous place in St. Petersburg?
Okay, one more famous place we'll tell you about. It's called Nevsky Prospekt. And this prospect kind of means like street.
Okay,
street.
okay.
So it's the main street in St. Petersburg called Nevsky Prospekt. And it has a lot of beautiful churches, beautiful buildings like that. And it also has one of the largest and oldest, definitely the oldest shopping mall in the world.
Right. それはちょっとすごい。
Right, in this about 250 years ago, this building, this big shopping center is in a 250-year-old building like that.
では今日のシチュエーション行ってみますけど、日本人のナナちゃんという女の子がロシアのサンクトペテルブルグにいる友達のところに遊びに来てるって感じですね。さっきジョー先生が教えてくれたこの Hermitage Museum と Nevsky Prospekt についてもっと詳しくお話しされてるので、皆さんチェックしてみてくださいね。まずはゆっくりなスピードで聞いてみましょう。
Hey, Nana. It must have been a long fight. Welcome to St. Petersburg.
Hey, Dima. Thank you for inviting me. I'm so glad I could come to Russia. I really want to see some Russian history and culture.
Well, you've come to the heart of Russia's history and art, Nana. You'll definitely love this city.
So, what are some famous tourist spots in St. Petersburg? The Tsars?
We don't have Tsars anymore, but there are innumerable places you should definitely visit. For example, I recommend going to the Hermitage Museum first. It's the second largest museum in the world. It used to be the winter palace of the Romanov Empire.
So, the palace is now a museum. And Romanov, that the dynasty started from Peter the Great and lasts until Nicholas II, right? Then it all ended in the Bolshevik Revolution?
Yes, exactly. The Winter Palace was the place where the October Revolution of 1917 occurred. Therefore, I can state that this place has a lot of significant symbols pertaining to the history and culture of Russia.
Whoa, I love revolutions too. Shall I start a new revolution?
No. Keep your ambitions in your heart. We don't want any chaos.
Haha, just joking. Well, I can't wait to see the city, to witness some historical incidents that were only written about in my textbook. I feel like Lenin's going to take over my soul.
Oh my goodness, you're really hyper right now. Nana, just calm down. Anyway, the Hermitage Museum is only a 40-minute walk from my house. After that, we'll go to the main street called Nevsky Prospekt.
Oh, I've heard of Nevsky Prospekt. Dostoevsky's novels were sometimes said of Nevsky Prospekt, like Crime and Punishment. Can I say hello to Dostoevsky if I meet him? I really like a couple of books.
Oh gosh, it's gonna be a long trip.
Wow, okay, there are really a lot of good places in St. Petersburg. Let's talk a little more about them.
今日は面白い表現いっぱいあります。もう早速一発目いきましょう。まずロシアの友達ディーマという子がここの有名な観光スポットはどこってナナちゃんに聞かれて、ロシア皇帝とかっていう風にちょっとジョークを言われてますね。この皇帝っていうのはちょっと私の発音が難しいのでジョー先生に聞いてみましょう。
Tsars. Right, so it's spelled with a TS. It's one of the only words in English with a TS, I think.
Okay.
But the pronunciation is like a Z.
Okay.
Tsars. Right, and Tsars were like kings, right? Or the emperor in Japan,
皇
like
帝
that.
とかですね。
Right.
日本の辞書だとツァーリって書いてありました。で、ここでディーマ君、男の子は、いやもう皇帝はいないけど、ここには訪れるべき場所がもうすごい無数にあるんだよっていうふうに言ってます。innumerable は数えられる名詞に対して無数のとか数えきれないというふうに言っている形容詞ですね。
Right, innumerable means a lot of. If you get tired of saying a lot of, you can say innumerable.
innumerable.
Right, for things you can count. For example, I have innumerable problems these days. Or there were innumerable people at the festival. Like that. Try and say that one time. It's a high-level word. Everybody knows it.
で、男の子はまずは Hermitage Museum に行くのをおすすめするねっていうふうに言ってます。おすすめするっていうのは to recommend doing something ですけど、日本の人はちょっと to recommend you to do something ってちょっと言いがちですけど、これは NG な表現です。
That's right. We never really say, I recommend you to something. Much better is to say, I recommend, then an ing verb. For example, I recommend doing this, or I recommend seeing that movie. Also very, very good is I recommend that you, and then something. I recommend that you go there, or I recommend that you be on time. Something like that. Try to use those expressions.
この博物館はロマノフ王朝の時は冬季の宮殿だったんだよ、冬の時のための宮殿だったんだよっていう風に言ってます。このロマノフ王朝っていうのも私だとちょっと発音が難しいのでお願いします、ジョー先生。
The Romanov Empire.
The Romanov Empire.
Right, and it's also called the House of Romanov. It was kind of a family,
Okay.
and it kind of began in the beginning of the Edo period. So Iein Tokugawa, like around there, it began there, and it ended in 1917, so about 100 years ago, with the Bolshevik Revolution.
この Bolshevik Revolution っていうのは共産党革命という意味です。
Right, it's also called the October Revolution of 1917.
10月革命とも言います。
Right, so it involved Vladimir Lenin and the communists, and they killed the last of the Tsars.
で、この場所はもうロシアの歴史と文化に関係する重要なシンボルがたくさん詰まったところなんだよっていうふうに言ってます。to state で明言するとか断言するという意味でとてもフォーマルな使い方ですね。
Right, so you hear it in the news a lot. The prime minister stated that Japan would da-da-da like that. And you can also say it in conversation if you really believe something strongly. I state that this is true. Especially you would say that, for example, in court.
Okay, 法廷裁判所とかですね。
That's right, kind of a formal situation. And of course, if you're writing something formal, you can say it very good
な
too.
るほど、なるほど。で significant ってとっても重要なという意味ですけど、Could you give an example of this word, Joe?
Right, for example, Ieyasu Tokugawa was a significant person in Japanese history. Or, the Olympics will be a significant event next year.
もう
like that.
来年ですか？マ
That's
ジか。
right. Yeah, we talk about the future sometimes. We talk about history all the time.
Yeah.
It's kind of boring me.
で、この to pertain to で関係するとか従属しているという意味になりますね。
Right. In English, other words would be like concerning or dealing with something. So especially you can use this word in a company.
なるほど。
Pertaining to this problem, we should do that, for example. Related to or concerning, dealing with this problem, something like that. And in the dialogue, the man says, pertaining to the history and culture of Russia, the Bolshevik Revolution was very important, like that.
で、ナナちゃん、この日本人の女の子は、もう私革命って大好き、私も革命を起こそうかなっていうふうに言ってます。で、男の子は、いや、野望は心に留めといてくれよというふうに言ってます。The ambition で、野望とか野心っていう意味ですね。
Yeah, or even just dreams.
Yeah.
Dreams, that's okay too. Kay, what ambitions do you have in life?
One of my ambitions is to be a billionaire.
A billion?
Yeah, girls be ambitious.
That's right. You can do it. You can do it. You just need confidence.
で、女の子は、いや、冗談だよっていうふうに言ってます。でも、教科書に書かれているだけの歴史的な出来事をこの目で見られるなんてもう待ちきれないっていうふうに言ってます。I can't wait で待ちきれないっていうふうに言ってますけど、この wait を大文字にすることですごく強調してますね、このダイアログでは。
Right. I can't wait to do something. For example, I can't wait to go to the concert. Or you can also, I can't wait for something. For example, Kay, are you really excited about tomorrow's class? I bet you can't wait for your class tomorrow, right?
I don't know. I don't know. そして、この to witness って目撃するという意味ですね。
Right, to see something. So often you see this on TV dramas.
Incidents って出来事という意味です。
Right, there are important incidents in history, for example.
ナナちゃんはもうレーニンが私の魂を持っていっちゃってるみたいに感じるっていう風に言ってます。To take over で連れていくとか奪ってしまうという意味です。
Right, it's kind of like to take control of or even to buy. For example, Japan took over Okinawa in the 1800s. At the same time, the U.S. took over Alaska and Hawaii. Also, a company can take over another company, kind of like buy, right?
買収するってことで
That's
すね。
right. This company took over that company.
Okay.
Like that.
もうナナちゃんすごい興奮状態です。男の子は、ハイパーだねっていう風に言ってます。これは興奮してるっていう意味です。
Right. I'm really hyper to see that movie. I'm excited about it, like that. And Kay, I really think you are hyper about that class tomorrow,
I
right?
don't know. なぜか私はハイパーに従うジョー。
Right. So it's kind of like, I'm really excited. I'm hyper about it,
Okay.
like that.
でとりあえずミュージアムは僕の家から歩いて40分くらいだからねっていうふうに言ってます。40-minute walk と言ってますけど、この minute の後に複数形の S がついてないのが重要です。Joe, how far is it from your house to school?
It's an hour, 15-minute walk. Right, an hour, 15-minute walk. But it's very nice walk through rice fields, right?
Nice. That sounds nice.
And of course, if I take my car, it's a 20-minute drive, like that. So you can say a 20-minute drive or a 3-hour flight. Anyway,
交通手段をつけ
that's
て
right.
も
Never put
良
an
きです
S on those adjectives.
で、その後、ネブスキープロスペクトという、通りですね、に行こうかっていうふうに言ってます。で、この通りはドストエフスキーの罪と罰などにも出てくるとっても有名な場所なんですね。Crime and Punishment で罪と罰という意味です。
Right, it's one of the most famous books in all of Russian
Yep,
history,
yep,
right?
yep.
It's about a poor guy in Russia who kills a shop owner to get her money, but then after killing her, he feels really guilty.
あと、罪深く感じたんですね。後悔しちゃったって感じです。
Yeah. So it talks about the emotions and also talks about Russian culture. It's a high quality book.
Yeah, too high quality.
But if you want to learn about Russia, it's really good. That's right.
Yeah,
That's
it's
right.
good. ね、ナナちゃん興奮します。ここで最後の面白い表現です。もうあんまりにもナナちゃんが興奮しているので、男の子の方はマジかよ、長い旅になるわっていうふうに言ってます。gosh でマジかって感じです。
Yeah, and it's also like kind of like yare yare.
呆れてるって感じです、ね。
gosh, like that. A funny expression. And with that, let's listen to the dialogue at natural speed.
Hey Nana, it must have been a long flight. Welcome to St. Petersburg.
Hey, Dima! Thank you for inviting me. I'm so glad I could come to Russia. I really want to see some Russian history and culture.
Well, you've come to the heart of Russia's history and art, Nana. You'll definitely love this city.
So, what are some famous tourist spots in St. Petersburg? The Tsars?
We don't have Tsars anymore, but there are innumerable places you should definitely visit. For example, I recommend going to the Hermitage Museum first. It's the second largest museum in the world. It used to be the winter palace of the Romanov Empire.
So, the palace is now a museum? And Romanov, that's the dynasty starting from Peter the Great and lasting till Nicholas II, right? Then it all ended in the Bolshevik Revolution.
Yes, exactly. The Winter Palace was the place where the October Revolution of 1917 occurred. Therefore, I can state that this place has a lot of significant symbols pertaining to the history and culture of Russia.
Whoa, I love revolutions too. Shall I start a new revolution?
No. Keep your ambitions in your heart. We don't want any chaos.
Haha, just joking. Well, I can't wait to see the city, to witness some historical incidents that were only written about in my textbook. I feel like Lenin's going to take over my soul.
Oh my goodness, you're really hyper right now, Nana. Just calm down. Anyway, the Hermitage Museum is only a 40-minute walk from my house. After that, we'll go to the main street called Nevsky Prospekt.
Oh, I've heard of Nevsky Prospekt. Dostoevsky's novels were sometimes set on Nevsky Prospekt, like Crime and Punishment. Can I say hello to Dostoevsky if I meet him? I really like a couple of his books.
Oh gosh, it's gonna be a long trip.
So Joe, did you ever go to Russia?
Actually, only the airport in Moscow.
モスクワ行ったと。
Right, only the airport though. I was changing planes about 4 years ago. I went to Armenia, which is a country just south of Russia.
アルメニア。
Right.
アルメニアだ。
Armenia has a lot of Russian culture in
Okay.
it. So when I was in Armenia, my sister's daughter lived there.
Okay.
Right, and she took me around. Anyway, we could see Russian culture. For example, the Armenian, they gave us a good party with vodka and the kind of Russian type food like that. And also in Armenia, there are a lot of historical churches. Right, Russia and Armenia have a lot of kind of the same kind of culture like that.
なるほど。皆さんもぜひ一度ロシアに行ってみてくださいね。もう本当絶対ロシアはもう私行ったことないですけど個人的にすごいおすすめの場所です。絶対楽しい。
Yes, and another good idea is that if you do a YouTube search for St. Petersburg Expedia, Expedia, this famous company,
Yes.
you can see a very good video about St. Petersburg.
Oh.
Right.
And we will see you next time at Hiroshima University's English podcast.
Take care.
皆さん、今日も Questions from our listeners のコーナーがやってきました。
Yay! And today we have kind of a personal question for Kay, and it's from two people. It's from Takumi in Yamaguchi and Miho in Aichi.
Wow.
They both somehow they asked the same question for some reason. And the question is, Kay, when is your birthday?
Will they have a present for me? My birthday is November 28th.
Oh, wow. Okay, so kind of in the beginning of winter.
Yeah.
Right?
Very cold.
Do you love to get a lot of birthday presents?
No, well, 別にプレゼントはもらわなくてもいいんですけど、誕生日自体は結構好きですね。
Okay,
は
good,
い
good, good.
それではまだまだ私たちの個人的な質問や、文化的な質問、あとこういうパーソナルなね、誕生日いつとかでも全然いいので、Twitter や Facebook、あとアプリのレビューへの書き込みで私たちの質問お待ちしております。どんどん送ってくださいね。バイ。